Hello.
Hey, everybody.
I have no idea if the audio is working. How do you even check that? This is why we don't go live.
I have no idea. I guess we can ask, do we sound okay? Is anybody even watching? Probably not.
It's a couple
But
people
here
watching.
we are on TikTok. Hi, we're doing TikTok and YouTube simultaneously. So I'm sorry if I'm like my eyes are going back and forth because I'm looking at one camera and then looking at the other.
If we look down the middle. That's why we don't go live.
So this is
There's too many complications.
Kind of our first live on YouTube. Done a couple lives on TikTok, but not any like this formal. We want to do a Q&A about RV life, and we spend every winter in Baja. Usually the past 2 winters. This is our 3rd winter down here, but we took a break in between for COVID. We did not come down here end of 2020, beginning of 21, right?
You're so chatty.
Yeah, well, I'm trying.
Put you live and you start chatting
and
it up.
Here's Huckleberry.
What you don't see behind the
bored,
scenes, Lindsay is
not gonna
quiet in the vlogs, and here she is chatting it up. As Lindsay pointed out, we do want to do Huckleberry.
Sorry, this is Huckleberry.
This is life in our RV. You say
He's
his
an
name.
attention whore.
We're going to be doing hopefully weekly Q&As because we found it's incredibly difficult for those of you who followed along, particularly on YouTube with our vlogs. It's incredibly difficult for us to live life and document life and edit life and share life and try to do it in a timely manner. We got to the point where we were like 3 months behind in every video we were posting at least. And so we thought...
Which is usual.
Yeah, which is usual. But we thought, Huckleberry, stop. We thought, why not just do a weekly? And that way you know exactly where we are and what we've got going on and all the good news. And we can engage with you a little bit more directly than leaving a comment after the fact. Like, oh, hey, we're in that area too. You want to meet up? And we can't meet up because that was 3 months ago when we put the video out. So that's kind of our goal.
This is why we don't go live.
Another reason we don't go live.
We can't edit out.
He just wants to be a star.
Monster.
He wants to be the star of the show.
Oh.
All right, Huckleberry, stop. I'm putting you down. Be good, buddy.
We're still on, right? It says disconnect. Yeah, we're still on. I don't know why it says disconnected. So, anybody, any questions? We are here to answer them. Ask away. Anything?
Where does it show? Oh, there's some people joining.
Yeah, there's people on here, but they're not asking any questions.
I'll ask a question.
Okay.
How'd you get your last name?
I married you.
That was awesome. I got a question. Where'd you get your first name?
My mom.
Your mom? I said your mom. Patty, are you watching?
My dad, too.
Patty, if you're watching.
I don't know. I can send her a text.
Yeah. No, you can't.
Oh, yeah. My phone is, so I can't.
So we cross into Baja on Halloween.
But before Halloween,
no,
right?
on Halloween.
Oh, we did cross on Halloween.
We crossed on Halloween. Wow. We wanted to experience a little Dia de Muerte or Dia de Muertos, Day of the Dead activities. And so we thought this time let's come a little bit early. Usually we come later in November. And so we have been here for about a month, a little bit over a month. And it's been pretty awesome. We spent some time in the northern part of Baja and Baja California Norte because you forgot to talk about the big, exciting, cool news. What are we doing with Baja?
Well,
and RVing.
We wrote a book.
Did we write a book?
Yeah.
And did we launch another website?
It's not out yet. It was supposed to be out December 1st, but we're a little delayed. But it will be out soon. If anybody ever wants to bring their RV down to Baja, or even not their RV, just want to come and camp in Baja, we wrote an awesome book. Tells you everything you need to know on how to cross the border, where to go, what to do, where to eat, where to camp, all that cool stuff.
All that great stuff.
It's what, 250
pages. We're going to have soft cover on Amazon available, so you can get for those of you like me who like to have something in your hands to read, particularly with all the no internet connections you'll have in Baja or no cell phone service. It's great to have on hand. It will entertain you as well as inform you. And we're also going to have a digital version, an ebook available as well. Right now, our good friends Bobby and Mary are putting the finishing touches on the design element. It's going to be absolutely amazing when it comes out. So that is something we want to share as a huge announcement. We are excited. We love Baja. Baja, I think, loves us. It hasn't spit us out yet.
No.
So
Hopefully it never does.
we are happy to be here. We're happy to be more engaged. And we spent a couple weeks actually doing some additional research for the book as we were traveling through Baja, California, the northern state.
And we have some questions on TikTok.
Yeah,
they're
let's
not
do that.
Baja related, but I want to answer them. So we had somebody ask, Misty Dawn asked us what our initial investment was. I guess our initial investment in the RV.
So
maybe I'm guessing that's what it is. So
that's what we're going to try to answer. If that wasn't the question, just go ahead and restate it. But
yeah,
we sold our truck camper and bought this RV
Yeah.
for the same amount, which was around $12,000. And then we also remodeled this for another $8,000.
yeah, it was a little under $8,000.
So all in
about $20,000.
right around $20,000. That included putting new brakes. We put really great tires on there. Then all the remodeling.
Yeah, the engine didn't really need any work. There was like some maintenance stuff we did to it, like we cleaned out the radiator, we flushed the radiator, stuff like that. Flushed the brakes. Replaced some dry rotted hoses. They weren't that bad, but we said, well, let's just keep up with it. So really, most of the money went into remodeling the inside of the RV, not the engine.
Which is awesome because I'd rather put all the money into making this feel comfortable than trying to patch it up and fix it up. So on that note, what make and model? We have a 1999 Shasta Cheyenne. I turned 41 just a couple weeks ago. In 1999, I was partying like a junior in high school. And that is how old this thing is. It looked like that. It's a Shasta Cheyenne. It's 31 feet.
It was stuck in the 90s.
Oh, it was.
It
was awful. I mean, the 90s, of course, was the best music, but it was the worst taste in pretty much any kind of fashion. And so that's what we were stuck with, 1999. Yeah. So how do we heat? Is it your natural gas or mine?
Yours.
See, that's why we don't go live. Lindsay farts a lot.
You fart more. No.
We have several ways of heating our RV, and this is for
Kelly. Also, most RVs come with a furnace
that runs on propane.
It runs on propane, yes. So our RV has a pretty decent sized furnace, and thankfully we don't use it a whole lot. It eats through propane pretty.
Yeah, it goes through quite a bit.
Pretty bad. If we have to run the furnace, we're having to fill up the propane quite a bit.
But we can channel the heat in about 6 different directions. We've got 6 different vents.
It works really well.
That's awesome.
And we try not to use it. So that's why we go south in the winter.
That was what I was going to say. How do we heat our RV? We get the heck out of where it's cold.
We go south. We go to Baja. That's where we are now.
We do also carry with us a ceramic space heater that we can plug in when we have shore power. Mm-hmm. So we were actually in Mulegé last year. We lived for about 3 months in Mulegé in a campground. And it got cold, surprisingly, in Baja, in the mornings. And we'd plug that bad boy in, and so we could use that as well. And that was because we wanted to save the propane. So it just kind of depends on where we are, how we want to heat.
Is that the ocean?
The RV. Oh, yeah, that's definitely the ocean.
Yes, that is the ocean. I'm so cool that you can hear it.
It's not technically the ocean.
It's the Sea of Cortez.
It's the Bay of Conception.
Or the Bay of Conception.
It's actually the Coyote Bay on the Bay of Conception, on the Sea of Cortez. But it is definitely a beautiful, warm body of water that we were camped right next to. We may need to go live a little earlier just so we can show.
Oh, bye, Tana. Oh, it was Tana that was on here. Oh. If you're still here, love you, Tana. Let's see. These are some great questions, guys. Thank you. On the average, what do you spend monthly on the road?
That's awesome. Can I answer that?
Yeah. Chris is great. He does all the finances. Not me.
Huckleberry, you got to stop. You got to cut this out. Huckleberry. So in Baja, I actually carry a book, and I could show you what we spend all the way back to our first week ever in Baja, which was several years ago. That's how much we keep up with our travel expenses. Long story short, with all the details, and I do keep a spreadsheet. We have a post. I don't know how we'll link to that. I know we can link in YouTube
Yeah, I don't know.
afterward.
We have a website called to wander. It's our username, calledtowander.com.
And if you do a search for how much it costs, we do put our up-to-date day-to-day budget in there, showing you exactly how much we spend. But we spend less than $2,000 a month. That was our commitment. That's all we've had. That's all we've been able to budget for us to continue this lifestyle. In between the work that we do seasonally when we have to, in between some of the revenue we have with our business, we committed to $2,000 a month. We did save extra when we stop and we work. We kind of put money away for fuel. So that varies depending on how much we're traveling. Like when we left South Dakota from the summer when we were working, we drove down to Baja. We spent about, I want to say about $1,100 on gas. We wouldn't normally do that in a month. We would normally stay in a place for a couple weeks, move, and then stay in a place for another couple weeks and not spend a lot on gas. But $2,000, that covers what we call our fixed expenses, which are the bills we would have if we were at home in an apartment or a condo or house, things like health insurance, car insurance, medical savings, cell phone bills, things like that. And then we have our fixed or our variable expenses, which we commit to living on less than $40 a day wherever we are. For everything else, groceries, water, fun, groceries, lots of groceries,
going out to eat,
stuff
like that.
So that is an awesome question that we have a lot of resources on, which again, if you go to that post, you can click and you can view the spreadsheet that we've kept now for over a year, 15 months of day-to-day actual expenses. So you can see exactly, and we put notes in there so you can see exactly what we spent money on. Hopefully that answers your question, and it definitely merits more content later on. Keep scrolling down.
Oops, sorry. There's a bunch of questions. Oh, I love you, TikTok. Y'all are great. We want to do it in our Class A, but heard smaller is better. Thoughts? Good question.
So what do we start out in?
Well, we started out in a truck camper, very small, no slides. So we don't even have slides in this thing, but very small. It was only, it was smaller than a van, the living space, So in a truck camper, the camper slides into the bed of the truck. You don't have access to the cab and then into the living area. So your cab and your living area is separate. There's a wall in between. You can't go back and forth. So you kind of lose living space that way. And while we liked our truck camper, we built it out because we originally wanted to drive from Alaska to Argentina. We wanted something with 4x4, something we could take off-road, down narrow streets, easy to park, stuff like that, like a van. But a truck camper was more rugged, had the 4x4. It was cheaper than a van. So we were in our truck camper for, I think, less than this thing, or maybe about the same.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I meant money-wise.
Money-wise? Yeah, it's the same amount, give or take.
But we lived in that for 2.5 years, and it got too small.
So we upgraded to Class C.
We upgraded to something bigger.
We personally will not go bigger than this. This is probably
not
the biggest that we will be for the foreseeable future. We haven't even considered like a larger fifth wheel. We haven't considered a Class A.
We don't want to pull a trailer. I think the only way I would consider a fifth wheel is if we had it stationary somewhere and we didn't have to pull it. And then we had another RV that we could be stationary.
That's not full-time RVing. That's
no,
garbage.
That is full-time RVing.
I'm not doing that. No, that's living by a lake or a mountain or whatever and having an RV. No. So it really is a matter of personal preference. How big you go determines a lot of things. Your fuel economy.
A bunch of questions.
I know we're gonna get there.
Okay.
You gotta. This is why we don't go live.
This is great, though. I love it.
We're gonna get into a brawl, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Live on 2 platforms. So trying to answer your question the best we can, but smaller is better for us. There are places that we could not go if we were any bigger. And in fact, getting to Coyote Beach, we had this one turn and we bottom out on it. And fortunately, the back has kind of a protective, I don't know what it's called, like
they're like these metal
bumper
bars.
area thing, so
That
it
hits
scraped on
first.
the bottom
Yeah.
rather than breaking the whole back end off. But we got really close on this one, so anything bigger would not have worked for us. And again, smaller, we've done that, and we just needed for the time being something bigger for us. But we wouldn't go Class A. You can still travel to Baja in Class A. So let's jump over to YouTube real quick. Sorry, YouTube people, we're doing both at the same time. Couldn't figure out where you were on the chat. So Thomas, hello in Henderson, Nevada. Do we feel safe in Baja? I feel safer in Baja.
Absolutely.
This is not politically correct, but I would never go to Chicago if I had the option to go to Baja when it comes to safety. I feel safer here than I feel in most U.S. cities. The people here are wonderful. There is all of the laws in place that you would expect in Canada, the United States, wherever you might be from. There is enforcement, contrary to all the negative stuff about corruption and all that. There is a large degree of safety taking place here to protect tourists traveling here. And Baja is a little different from the mainland, not to get into all the details, but Baja is quite a bit different from the mainland. I want to say it's more tranquilo, calmer, more, they call it Baja or
like
Mexico Light. Like it's got culture and it's got its own personality, but it's not caught up in a lot of the mess that you see, potentially the negative stuff, cartel stuff, and all of that with the mainland. So, gonna do another question here. Have we had any close calls or scary encounters? This is Viking Vince. Close calls in the time that we've been here in Baja. You're bothering me.
Sorry.
Am I allowed to say that live?
No, go. It's your questions.
Close calls, Lindsay. We got to talk together. Close calls.
Yeah. Huh.
Or scary encounters. I would say no.
No.
We did have the worst, I think, worst experience we ever had was going through a checkpoint at night. A military
in Baja?
checkpoint at night.
Yeah.
And that was just, it's part of the routine. Every couple hundred miles, you go through these military checkpoints. We like them because human smuggling, so good for Mexico for having these country. We never worry, we're not ever doing anything illegal, but sometimes the inspectors can get a little zealous, a little they can get into your stuff quite a bit and ask a lot of questions and make it very intimidating. And so we went through one at night, which we don't advise driving at night in Baja
do not drive at night.
But we had to in this particular case between two different areas that were long distances, and we ended up driving at night. Our friends went through, no problem. They went through in front of us. We went through, we had our truck camper at the time, and we got all kinds of questions and searched, and it was intimidating, but it wasn't, I wouldn't say a close call or a scary encounter. It just kind of made us aware of how things work. And again, tweaked us saying we're never driving at night. Like, it's just better not to for many different reasons. So your turn. Back to TikTok. Did you?
How many RVers are at our location here? There's quite a few where we are. We're in a very popular area in Baja. It's just outside of a quaint little town called Mulahay.
In Baja, California, sir, the southern state.
It's on the Bay of Conception. There are several beaches that you can camp on here. They're not free, but they are cheap. We're paying about $12 a night to camp here.
US.
How much a month?
That times
$350 to $375 or something like that for the whole month to be on beachfront property.
Is pretty awesome.
And it's a popular spot. There are a lot of Canadians, a lot of what we call long-termers that could just come down here for the winter and they stay 5 months and they just stay here on this beach.
There might be, I don't know, 20, 25 at most right now. There's a lot of space on this beach, so it is pretty wide open, and we're still kind of early in the season for a lot of people traveling through. So that's about it, about 20, 25. Room for another 25, 30 more.
Mm-hmm. Hello from California.
We are doing great.
How are we doing in Baja, or how are we able to do Baja? I'm not sure. Bunny says hi to the puppies. So, how many American businesses are in Baja?
That would be hard to.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
I mean, I don't know if you're asking like, is there everything you need in Baja? Like, is there an Apple store
Oh,
in Cabo San Lucas?
that
There
might
is. Are
be.
there Walmarts?
I do know
There's
there's
Costco's.
there's a Costco in Mexicali and a Costco in Cabo San Lucas.
So long story short,
Yeah.
there are all the businesses that you would expect. Like you can find, I don't even know.
There's a
probably
Home
McDonald's.
Depot.
There's Home Depot. There's
a Pizza
there's
Hut.
AutoZones.
I know there's Pizza Hut.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff.
Stuff like that, but not like there used to be an Applebee's in La Paz, but it shut down.
Yeah, there's plenty of businesses.
So yeah.
So I don't know, Thomas, if that answers your question. If it's how many businesses or the types of businesses, like it's kind of natural being here. It's not too much different in terms of when you need to go or when you want to go. Like when we get to La Paz, we're going to go grocery shopping at Walmart because that's kind of our go-to. Carry a lot of similar products, things that we eat really healthy. So we know we can get a lot of healthier food there as well. So let's come back over here really quick. Where can you camp year round? Anywhere.
So I don't know. Do you mean like anywhere? Or do you mean just like where can you camp year round in Baja?
You can camp anywhere. Like if you're in Baja year round, it's going to be hot as all get up in the summer, but you can camp here.
You can camp anywhere. And there's really no limits. You can not, here we're in the U.S.
Well, you have to go back and reset your visa.
Yeah. So every 6 months.
If you're Canadian or U.S. citizen, other countries we're not really familiar with. But if you want to camp in Canada in the middle of winter, you can camp year round in Canada too. So I don't know, again, for the clarification on the question, if that means where in Baja can you camp year round or if that's just in general. We like to follow the seasons philosophically. So Lindsay put out a nice little video a couple days ago, maybe a week ago. How do we winterize our RV? When it gets cold and we're up north, we drive south. And Baja is our winter spot. We've been coming here now 2 years in a row. We would have been 4 years in a row, but that whole COVID thing. So that's where we go. In the summers, we drive north. We try to get to where it's cooler. So we spent last summer in South Dakota working, and we'll probably be going back to South Dakota again, where temperatures tend to be a little bit more mild.
Chasing the open road.
Yep.
Is that Niles?
That is Niles. Waiting for you to get down here, guys.
Yeah, hurry up.
Saving a spot for you on the beach. Hope Bus absolutely is a great place. Welcome. And it is a great place to spend winter all throughout Baja. We're starting here and we're not staying. We're going to be moving along and spending time in some of our favorite places throughout, mostly Baja California Sur. We really love the southern state. So Baja is again divided. It's about 1,000 miles all the way from top to bottom, and it's divided almost equally in half. And we really love the southern state. There's just something about it. Warmer water, clearer water. There's reefs when you get further south. Yeah. I don't want to say the people are any friendlier, but there's probably less American influence and it's more Mexican, so to speak. Like in the north, a lot of places you'll pay in dollars, and that's really that bothers me. I'm in Mexico. I don't want to go and buy a dinner and have somebody say, "Oh, that's $20." Tell me how much it is in pesos because we're in Mexico. So you get a lot more Mexico in the south, and that's where we love to come.
I have another. Michael Murphy from North Carolina is asking, where is this? Well, we are in Baja.
Mexico.
We're in our RV parked on a beach in Baja, and that's where we usually spend our winters. Someone, I think.
Yep, yeah. Where it is warm weather.
Yep.
Sean.
What type and length? Ooh, there's a bunch of stuff on here.
Up. Oh. Do you only stay on the Sea of Cortez side? So great question, because we love paddleboarding. That's our thing.
Yeah, we love to paddleboard.
We spend most of our time on the Sea of Cortez because it's calmer or flatter typically most of the time. And so we can go paddleboard. Like there's an island about, I don't know how far. I know it takes me 18 minutes to exercise paddle out to the island and then another 40 minutes around the island and then back. So I do that every morning, and that's something that I love. It's my exercise. It's my peace of mind. We take the dogs out paddleboarding with us. Lindsay has a paddleboard. I have a paddleboard. Her dog, Huckleberry, fits on her paddleboard. Mine fits on mine. We can actually fit our whole family on my paddleboard. So we love the flat water of the Bay of Conception and the Sea of Cortez in general. So we spend a lot of time here and in La Paz. But we also will go, we spent our anniversary, actually. We've got an anniversary tradition to go just outside of Todos Santos on the Pacific. And we're going to be down there again on the Pacific side the first part of January. So
yeah, we're planning to go fishing. And my dad passed away in June, so we're gonna go take him fishing and spread some of his ashes. And then after that, we're probably gonna go to that beach just outside of Todos Santos, and hopefully there's good surf because I love watching the surfers, and there's usually some pretty decent sized waves out there, and that's always fun to watch. And then a lot of times you can see the humpback whales spouting, and sometimes if you're lucky breaching off the coast there, and that's really cool. And then there's also a turtle sanctuary where they basically hatch the sea turtles, and you can help release them, which is really cool.
you gonna give the life story of Baja?
I'm just saying, just some things about Todos
The Pacific
Santos.
side
So
for
this
us
is the Pacific
isn't
side.
our jam because
But there's still,
in a former life, I had surfboards and I surfed in Florida all the time, and I would enjoy that. But we don't travel with surfboards, so for us, we spend most of our time on the Sea of Cortez side. But if we came here in the summer, the Pacific side is cooler, so you'd probably spend more time on the Pacific side just to be a little bit cooler because this turns into a bathtub in the summer.
Great. Someone else asked something.
Oh, anything?
Okay, yeah.
Hang on, I got to come over here for a second. Sounds like the perfect place to spend the winter. It absolutely is. Niles is harassing us. Go for tacos, not pizza. Definitely, buddy. I won't tell you how many tacos we've consumed. I am eating my tacos tortillaless. Does that make them a taco? There's a philosophical question for everyone. So I'm on a diet thanks to Dr. Niles. We'll be sharing about the awesome thing that he has done in revolutionizing my health. But I'm staying away from most grains, definitely wheat. So my tacos have been mostly tortillaless. So it's just meat and the fixins.
Meat and beans.
Meat and beans.
And Bunny. She saw our bison video.
Oh, in South Dakota,
when it came through our campground. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was cool.
And we're pretty sure we're going back there this next summer to work.
But we don't predict the future anymore.
Yeah,
if we did, we would have won the lottery, the $2 billion lottery, and you'd all be down here with us. But we can't predict the future. We don't know that stuff.
Yeah.
We will share our plans as they evolve because we like to say we can't be who we are without you, and you're a part of our story. And so we'll share the evolution of that. And again, that's why we want to talk weekly. So as things change, as things are moving, we want you guys to be a part of our story because, again, you are our story. I want to come back up to, Bunny said we inspire.
We inspire her.
That is a goal of ours. Somebody also said we definitely know Hope Bus. Again, definitely know how to enjoy this life. We want to put a disclaimer out in front of everything that we do. We are working bleepity bleep hard for this lifestyle. We just got done working for 5 months, just under 5 months in South Dakota, as we've shared. That was 40 to 50-hour weeks for both of us, on top of managing 2 websites, writing our Baja book, doing all the things for our business. That's why if you follow us on YouTube, that kind of fell off. TikTok kind of fell off. We work really hard for this, and we do believe in pursuing what we call the abundant life on the road. So we're glad that you recognize that we are living and enjoying a really good life, but we definitely work hard for this. And we do have friends who come down to Baja and they might spend a month on their off month each year, and they're just relaxing totally. They'll go back to work for 9-10 months, and then they'll come down here for a month or two and just live totally off the savings. That's not us. We stay active and busy. Working. So we don't have that full enjoyment because we're not retired, and I don't know that I'll ever retire, but boy, it'd be nice to close the computers and the cell phones and just
not have to have Starlink.
Totally live the life, which we are using Starlink right now to bring this to you. Not a plug for Starlink. Everybody knows how awesome it is. Where are we going? That one? Dogs?
Yeah, the dog question.
Yep.
Where did it go?
It's right there.
Okay. Anything required for getting the dogs in? Any special vaccinations, etc.? So it's pretty easy to get the dogs into Mexico. They require that they just have their rabies vaccination, not really anything else. And
I'm
Sorry, Chris is
41, but I'm more like
distracting me.
14.
So really, honestly, they say if you were to like go on whatever website for what you need to cross with your pets,
Our
that you
website.
need rabies vaccination for your dogs, and then a lot of places will say that you need a health certificate from your vet. You don't need that.
Well, it's legally required, so we're
Yeah.
not going to tell you don't need it. We're going to tell you what's legally required, and you are legally required to have the vaccine, the rabies vaccine, and proof that it's valid for the entire duration of your stay.
Yeah.
And you are technically supposed to have within, I think, 30 days a health checkup. Whether or not that's inspected, that's between whoever is your immigration officer, but they can legally required to see that. And we have heard stories of people being turned around at the border that had to go back and find an American vet. So I don't want to, sorry for cutting you off, but we don't want to give you misleading information so that you think, oh, it's a free for all. We don't have to have that. Technically, you do. We did not, coming across the border, have our recent vet. We did get it done like maybe 45 days before.
Yeah.
But we didn't have a specific one for Mexico. So we could have been turned around in Mexicali, and that would have been our fault. So again, we don't want to mislead you with that information. But great question. Pets are very welcome in Baja, but there's so many opportunities. There's so many dogs named Baja that you'll meet the closer you get to Baja, because there's so many adoptable dogs down here. So if you are looking to adopt a dog, this is a great place for it.
A great place.
In fact, there's a dog on the beach, Choya. She is awesome. She was adopted last year. The people who adopted her came back this year, and this is her beach. She was adopted from Coyote Beach.
From Coyote Beach. Yep.
And she is living, talk about living the best life. Like, she has got the best life, and she's so much fun. So dogs are welcome to come here, and you may end up leaving. I've had to stop Lindsay every trip here from sneaking a dog and now trying to sneak cats into our RV. We have more space for her to hide it now, but we just don't have room for that. But great place for pets and for taking a pet with you. So, all right. Merry Christmas, Thomas. We'll hopefully have another couple chats before Christmas. Thanks, Bunny, for the condolences for Lindsay on her father. Niles, you don't have to prop me up and support me, buddy.
Is there more?
I'm saving all the spoiling myself for when you guys get down here.
Okay. And then TikTok. All right. We don't have any more questions, but any more questions at all? If anyone is interested in our Baja book, it will be out soon, hopefully in the next few days or so. But you can go to our website and sign up for the newsletter.
Either go to Call to Wander and go to our Baja section. So there's a drop down for destinations, and you can go to Baja. And if you click on any of that content, a pop-up will happen. You know, the newsletter pop-ups you see on websites. It'll pop up and say, do you want to sign up for our newsletter for updates specifically on the book? Or you can go and check in with our second website, actually our third website. It's rvingbaja.com. RVing, Baja.com. And there's going to be, right now, it's still in the works, so we're announcing this maybe 3 days too soon. But you'll see a section where you can go and click to buy the book, and we'll have a landing page there. You can get the ebook available directly from the website, and we will be able to offer the softcover book through Amazon. So we'll be sending you to Amazon to purchase that, and that will actually be the 250-page in your hand, awesome book. We are sparing no expense when it comes to all the great content that's going into it. The images, the formatting, it's going to be the legit. It's not just some haphazard PDF that you will be purchasing if you're interested in that.
On TikTok, this person said, I'm watching you and Yellowstone. We love Yellowstone. I had no idea there was a new season out already. Idea.
Maybe you need to do a TikTok live and show Yellowstone, because I don't think we can watch it here.
I don't know if we can. I had no idea there was a new season, so we need to do it. If we're going to do this every Sunday, we need to go on an hour earlier.
Our Yellowstone addicts,
because we can't compete with Yellowstone.
HJR50, you have captured our hearts, and we will honor. We will honor that
the 7 p.m.
in the spirit of every other person who is addicted to Yellowstone like we are. And I don't know,
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football, for those of you Sunday Night Football fans.
Yeah.
In our YouTube announcement, we are from Jacksonville, Florida. So if you know anything about the NFL and you know anything about Jacksonville, you know we have not been football fans for a while. I won't say that.
We're college football
I
fans.
still check the score all the time, but it's been kind of a sad couple of years, which makes it great because then on Saturday, I forget what days they are when we're at the beach. I'm like, what day of the week is? Oh, yesterday was college football day. Oh, the Gators lost anyway, so it is what it is. Oh, it's Sunday. The Jaguars lost.
So Niall said maybe touch on sourcing water. That's a good one.
Do you mean like when we go take a bath in the Bay of Conception right there, or yeah? So you have to do things a little bit different when you RV in Mexico and Baja in particular. But one of the great things is that there are reverse osmosis water. They're called aguas purificados. Let me go grab my hat.
Oh, Chris has an awesome hat from our favorite water place in La Paz.
And Steve, if you ever watch this, it's pink. This is our favorite aguas purificados purified water place. So you pull up to them, and a lot of times they have hoses. If not, sometimes you can use an adapter. Like we have a water bandit, which we definitely recommend traveling with. But you can take that water and push it into your RV or your van, or what they call garrafones, which are just 5-gallon containers, like your standard Aquafina 5-gallon water container, or your portable ones you get from Walmart or REI or wherever. But it is all 100% purified drinking water. A lot of the restaurants now, back in the day, I remember when I started international traveling 25 years ago, the whole thing was like, don't have ice cubes, don't drink water if it's not coming out of a container or a plastic bottle that's sealed. Restaurants in Baja in particular know that if a bunch of tourists get sick, it's going to be very bad for business. So they even use purified water. They use ice that's purified water. So like you can safely drink the water in most restaurants. Taco stands, different story. Like if it's a locals place where a lot of locals go, and we have some of our favorites for that, you may not get the best quality water or ice there. But most of the restaurants where tourists go and travel, being careful. I like the word gringo, but I'm careful not to be derogatory. Yeah. But where the tourists go, the water is definitely it's usually good. And then of course you can put it in your tanks, or we don't drink the water out of our RV tanks, even though we flushed them and cleaned them several times. We carry a separate container with a little USB powered pump, and we pump water out. But great question, Niles. Definitely good for letting everybody know about the health. Oops. I think
that might be it.
Yeah, we've been going for 40 minutes.
Yeah, we've been on for almost 40 minutes, guys. So we might start wrapping things.
That's what he was jumping
He's
around.
Down here pouting.
We feed our dogs twice a day, in the morning and the evenings. And Huckleberry tells time. It's amazing. No matter what time zone we go in, Huckleberry knows exactly what time it is for dinner, and he usually jumps all over us. So that's at 6:30 our time, which we're on Mountain Time right now. We know it's 8:30 in the middle of Yellowstone, and we apologize for that. So I think we are going to wrap this up.
And my stomach's rumbling. I need to eat dinner.
Lindsay's got to eat dinner too. Niles, I already ate. You know why I ate? Because I do intermittent fasting, and it has changed my life. And this is not a commercial for it. I'll have a commercial for that later. But I finished.
Oh, there's our friend Jack's Beach. I know you're in Jack's Beach, and I tell Chris about you all the time. That we have our Jack's Beach follower on TikTok. Hey.
Join just in time for us to sign out for the night. But we're going to be doing these weekly. We're going to change the time to 7 o'clock Eastern time, which is 5 o'clock Mountain time, 4 o'clock Pacific. If you're in the Central time zone, you should get out of there. I don't know what time that is. Is there anything good in Central time?
I have no idea.
Is that like Iowa? And
maybe.
If you're from Iowa, I'm sorry. That was a little.
Mr. Harvey. Who is this?
FSU. Only person I know in Washington, D.C. that would call me Mr. Harvey also works for a federal agency. And I don't know if that's him or not. However,
all right, who are you?
I was a teacher in my former life. Great relationship with
apparently
most of my students.
One of Chris's students has joined.
Send a message. World. Let me know who you are, because I don't want to make a mistake and call out the wrong person. But we are.
It is. Look, he was right.
Got it right.
So what's
Hope you enjoyed your. It was a European vacation, if I recall, just recently. So awesome! Thanks for joining, and we are wrapping up.
yeah.
Lindsay's got to eat. The dogs have to eat. We're going to be back next week at 7 o'clock Eastern time. So we'll cram it into maybe 30, 45 minutes. So you can go get your popcorn cooked and get ready for Yellowstone at, I'm assuming, 8 o'clock on Sundays. So anything else before we go?
Before we sign off.
Gosh, you guys are awesome. This was our first live video. Hopefully
This has been
they
great.
hopefully they get a little
We'll do it more often.
yeah. I've not made Lindsay laugh or like embarrassed her as much as I plan on doing, so stay tuned for that too. Is that it?
I think so.
Well, thanks for joining. As we always share, you are a part of our story, part of our wander, part of our journey. We are excited that you're a part of our lives as we are pursuing the abundant life on the road. We hope we can keep inspiring you, encouraging you, and providing you information. Whatever your abundant life is, if it's on the road, we hope that we can be that inspiration and information for you. We will see you when we see you.
And we will be back next Sunday.
Which, if you want to see us, we'll be here for another couple weeks, and then we'll be in Baja for a couple months. So let us know. Send us an email. Send us a direct message if you're coming here, because we always say we'll see you when we see you, and we don't always see you because you see us. But if you want to see us live in person, not live over the internet, this is why we don't go live. I'm just rambling now. Thanks for being part of our journey, our wander, our calling to the road. You're awesome. Stay in touch.
Bye, friends.
I thought you were going to say bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. We haven't done that in a long time.
I don't think she's still watching. You
No,
still watching, Felicia?
Felicia's long gone.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.